Hello, it's your boy Boxing Learner, and today I'll be talking about my 2 cents on Teofimo and his current situation with Triller. The fight was pushed back. It was supposed to be June 19th. He was supposed to face George Cambo Jr. For his WBO, IVF, and WBA titles in Ring Magazine. When I started watching boxing back in 2018, and I found out that Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder weren't fighting, and Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence weren't fighting. I looked for a new, fresher talent that I could follow, and I found this guy that you see on the screen. He was athletic, he was fun, he was entertaining, he was a good counterpuncher, and had solid power at 135. Teofimo Lopez quickly became one of my favorite fighters, if not my favorite fighter, during his rise. As time went on, he started to up his competition. In fact, I remember when he first fought Nakatani, I thought he won, but he gave him a tough fight, and people were saying he got exposed. They kept on saying that. Then he challenged for the IBF belt and knocked out Richard Coleman in their title fight, and became a world champion. And then he was ready to fight Lomachenko. In the build-up for the Lomachenko fight, he was a huge underdog, but he was very confident, and then he came in and he won. I was actually not very impressed, to be honest with you. The rounds that Lomachenko did fight, he completely blew him out the water. Like, he was hitting him and snapping his head back with arm punches. As a huge Teofimo fan, that brought me back to earth. That let me know he's got a long way to go. He still has a long way to go. After the Lomachenko fight, he started doing a lot more interviews, doing a lot more camera stuff. And, he kind of got annoying, in my opinion. And I wasn't, caring about what he was doing on the internet. I was just waiting for his next fight. And I thought he was going to fight Devin Haney because he called him out. But he ended up fighting George Cambo Jr. And honestly, I looked at George Cambo Jr. because I like seeing who's coming up in the rankings. George Cambo Jr., he's a sparring partner of Manny Pacquiao. He's an Australian of Greek descent. And, I've heard a lot about him, that he has a lot of intensity, speed, combos. But to be honest with you, I think he's just an average top 10 guy. He's definitely a top 10 lightweight, but, he's very average in my opinion. Personally, I think his success at the lightweight division will come when Ryan, Teofimo, and Devin, and some other guys lead the division. That's when he's going to really shine in the division. In my opinion, Teofimo's got a big problem. He has all the belts, but he's not really well known. Teofimo, he wants to be on pay-per-view. He wants to be getting paid, doing pay-per-views. But I think it would benefit him a lot more if he was on free TV. And free TV is the way to go for Teofimo Lopez. I guess my 2 cents comes down to this, is that he's not a huge star yet. Teofimo is not a huge star yet. He needs a lot more exposure. They really need to get behind him and promote him, find different ways for him to get out there, because Gervonta Tank Davis is a crossover star. I don't know what it is about him. He just has that it factor that Teofimo quite doesn't have. He doesn't have it yet. He doesn't move the needle yet. I think he needs another big opponent that people really care about, like Devin Haney, but we know already what the problem is with that, or at least Ryan Garcia. And the Gervonta Tank Davis, those are the names that can propel him into superstardom. If he doesn't get those names, he won't be a superstar, in my opinion. He only has 16 fights. His contemporaries have way more fights. And then there's the WBC franchise championship. A lot of people don't see him as the undisputed because he doesn't have the actual WBC world title. And there's also news that his fight is going to be pushed back all the way to September, and it's going to be on the undercard of Oscar De La Hoya versus Victor Belfort. If that's true, it's going to be insane. If this is true, then that means the argument that he didn't have COVID, that he was just trying to get better ticket sales, is going to be a lot more stronger, in my opinion. Well, those are my 2 cents on Teofimo. He needs to be on free TV, and he needs to fight opponents that people care about. If he really wants the fame, the money, and the recognition that he thinks he deserves, that's what he needs to do. It's your boy Boxing Learner, and I'll be making the video about Ryan Garcia next. So stay tuned. Peace.